Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Prabhupada ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Asatara Sishmati Srila Isi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gopramanande Hari Hari Bol. Namaho Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Charu Swami Iti Namine Snigdha Chaita Supranita Bhagvinam Cha Rasa Plutam Prabhupada Gata Pranam Nomi Bhakti Charupadam Namaho Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharide Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatad Satanine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Shakti Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances over Srila Prabhupada. When I see great Vaishnavas like the other Rishis sitting around here, Rishpari Mataji sitting there, Mataji sitting there, I feel that humbled by this, that there are more qualified people that can speak today than I can. Does anybody know or remember what the topic for discussion is today? Anybody knows why? Sorry?
Because it's Nirjala Ekadasi
on Wednesday. Nirjala Ekadasi. Now, can anybody tell me what they understand about Ekadashi? Quick, one word or two words. What's the benefit or anything that you know about Ekadashi?
Austerity. It's a day of austerity.
At the end of the class, I'll prove you wrong. It's a day of fasting. At the end of the day, I will prove that it's a day of feasting. Okay, Ekadashi is the day of Hari. It's called as, what's the other name for Ekadashi? Hari Varsala. Or day of Upavasa. What does it mean? Means Vasala or Upavasa means sitting, and Vasala I think means close. So it's a day that you sit close to Hari. So how can one be in austerity when one is sitting close to Hari? It means everything else is insignificant on that day, isn't that right? If you're sitting close to Hari, what is the need for anything else? If you go to how can I put this? The younger kids will understand. Oh, when we were younger, we went to go see our famous singer that's singing for the night. And if he takes you and goes backstage and has a chat with you, would you worry about going to bed early? Would you worry about eating something? No, right? Why? Because you got something greater to taste, right? You're feasting, not fasting. So, in light of that, today we're going to go on a journey. We're going to go from Mahabharata to the Ramayana to Satya Yuga and back to Srila Prabhupada. So, speaking about the glories of Ekadashi. So first I'll start off with, as formalities will have it, is this health aspects of fasting for Ekadashi. Now, or fasting, the fasting part of it. See, when Krishna gives us something, I'll put it like this. Say you go to the queen and she gives you a beautiful box. Lovely box, excellent box. It's a pure gold box. It's studded with all jewels. And and she signs and says this is authentic. So because the signature is there, it's also worth more. And it's worth, an astronomical sum. How many of you want that box? How many? Nobody wants that box? If she comes and says, listen, I'm going to give you this gift, this special golden box studded with all jewels, right? But you got to choose, you want the box. Yes or no? Right. But the thing is that if you go for the box, you'll get just the box. Right? Now, if she gives you just the box, now this is, when Krishna gives us something, it's all auspicious. Whatever the Lord gives us is all auspicious. So we get benefits in many, many planes. We get benefits in the health plane. We get benefits in the astrological plane. We get benefits, in the, in 4 or 5 different planes materially as well. So the health aspect is there, and I'll cover it only for formalities point of view, right? But these are not. We're coming to the second part of the box in a second. You'll understand this is not the importance. So it's highly recommended that people fast. I'm not saying devotees. I'm saying people fast. It is recommended by scientists. This is a proven fact, all right? Even if you got nerve damage, fasting actually, you deprive your body of starches and proteins. So the body, what it does, it starts breaking down into a reserve starches and fats. And what it does then by doing that is it first burns off the starches and fats, and then it starts burning down all our toxins. And by burning down our toxins, it creates new cells in the body. And so it is proven that it reduces even things like cancer and brain disease. So even cancer by fasting so these are the health aspects of it. Now, eating corn and bean has found to contain something called a resistant starch. And the resistant starch is very high type of carb, right? And it's not really good for the digestive system. So even if we're not fasting, to eat corn and beans and starch on these days is not even recommended. Now you can see fasting for Ekadasi has been sent from Satya Yuga, but only now scientists are finding the health aspects of it. That's another reason to see how perfect our heritage, our history is perfect in every way. Whatever God has given us is good for us, even on a bodily platform. So now the thing is that if I give you just the box and I tell you to choose that box, everybody wants it. Now, if you choose just the box, you get just the box. But what I didn't tell you is that you choose only the box, you'll get only the box. But that box can come with a priceless gift. So that queen is given the box, but in that box she can also put the what's that called, the diamond, the Kohinoor diamond? Kohinoor diamond in it. Now the Kohinoor diamond, I'm using that as an example only so you understand, is what's hidden in the box that Krishna has given us. So if you come there, you get all the health benefits. Even like on Ekadashi, it says that from the astrological point of view, the sun, the moon, and the earth is in one phase. It's not a very auspicious time for the body. So you get things like lunatics. So the brain is consisting of 80% of water. So it affects the brain. So we're looking at the celestial aspect of it. So even that point of view is covered, that we should not have these things on Ekadashi. It is not conducive for the body, on the bodily platform. But most importantly, when I come back to it, in that actual box, if you choose just from the health aspects or from the astrological aspects, you only get the box. What Srila Prabhupada has given us to appreciate what's the contents of the box. In that way, it makes that box something you can throw in a bin, insignificant, of no value, no intrinsic value in comparison of what it comes with. So devotees don't fast for health reasons. If you focus on the health reasons, you'll get the box only. Right? Make sense? It's still huge, and after of the earth planet will be falling in for the box only. But we've got an higher taste. We want what's the contents, but when the queen gives us the contents, he has to give us in the box. So the box comes in as a side gift. So I hope I haven't lost you along the way, but effectively what it means is Ekadashi, what it brings to us is such a huge and a rare gift. And we'll come to that in a few things. Time permitting, I'll even read a few things out that Srimati Radharani said about Ekadashi. The benefits of Ekadashi. Amazing stories. What's the difference between Ekadashi and Nirjala Ekadasi or Bhima Ekadashi? So this coming week, it's not only Ekadasi, it is Nirjala Bhima Ekadashi. The best among Ekadashis. How many Ekadashis are there in a year? Anybody knows? How many Ekadashis are there in a year? How many Ekadashis are there by name? Alright, let's do some maths, but I'll prove that maths wrong as well. There's 2 Ekadashis in a month. How many months in a year?
12.
So how many technical Ekadashis we should have in a year? So if it's 2 a month, so 24 in total, right? But actually we don't have 24, we have 26 Ekadashis. Now let's see who can do the maths and figure out why there's 2 extra Ekadashis. Why is it 26, not 24 Ekadashis? No. So basically it works exactly 24. But when Radharani gave a list, and according to ours, there's 26 Ekadashis. Everybody forgot 1 month. In the lunar year. There is 1 extra month in the year. That's the month the Lord Nrsimhadev appeared to. Because one of the things Hiranyakashipu made Lord Brahma to promise is that he won't be, well, of course, not killed in the air, not in the ground, not inside, not outside, but also I will not be killed in the 12 months of the year. So that's another thing that when Lord Nrsimhadev had to kill Hiranyakashipu, he had to take that into consideration too. That he will not be killed in the 12 months of the year. So there's maths, there's a science, there's a mystery now. There's 24. Technically it's supposed to be 24 Ekadashis in a year, but now we've got 26. And Hiranyakashipu wasn't going to be killed in the 12 months of the year. But he was killed, and how is that possible? Because in a leap year, we have 1 extra month called the month of Purushottam. So the month of Purushottam, we've got 2 Ekadashis there. So technically there is 26 Ekadashis. Now nobody will forget that, right? And it's said by Radharani, we'll come to that, but is that if you recite the 26 Ekadashis by name, you get all the benefit. My Guru Maharaj said all the benefit of fasting for 26 Dwardashis, and I've also said in Padma Purana it says for fasting for 26 Ekadashis, just by reciting the names of those Ekadashis. Radharani told it to the gopis, but we'll come to that in a second. So, how did Ekadashi come to be? Who is Ekadashi? Anybody knows who is Ekadashi? Or what does Ekadashi mean in the first place?
Ekadashi.
Eka? Dashi. So give me the meanings of Ekadashi. Anybody can tell me? That's one reason, right? But why Ekadashi for us Vaishnavas? It has 3 significance. What's the significance of the 3 significance of Ekadashi? One is is that it's 10 plus 1, it's the 11th day of the new moon and 11th day of the full moon. The other one is when Lord Vishnu, when this personality came out from Lord Vishnu's body, 2 things happened. She came out on the 11th day, so that's how Ekadashi was born. The other thing is Ekadasi. Dasi is a female. Ekadasi. And then fasting for Ekadashi, it's meant that we should fast, we should serve the Lord with our 11 senses. Yes. We should serve the Lord with our 11 senses. So that's another thing about Ekadashi. So 11. So that's the significance of the 11 of it. Right? Now, so the difference between Ekadashi, normal Ekadashi, and Bhima Ekadashi. Anybody knows? Right.
Normal Ekadashi, we just do the fasting. We can eat at one time for all and all this thing. But Bhima Ekadashi, even we can't drink the water.
Alright. So there's many ways of fasting for every Ekadashi. The best way of fasting is no eating, no drinking, and no sleeping. That's every Ekadashi. A lot of devotees follow that, right, Mataji? A lot of devotees follow that. Every Ekadashi they follow that. But Srila Prabhupada was very liberal to us. He knew that we didn't have the Shakti to follow. So Srila Prabhupada made provisions for us. So he said, minimize all these, so just have roots and whatever, no grain and no bean. But that is what we'll come to. So why it is the difference being is that every Ekadasi has to be followed like that, but there's different levels of fasting for Ekadashi. You can fast half a day, you can fast, quarter day, and depending on the level of fasting that you do, or the you get the same, the Lord rewards accordingly. So what happens is on this Ekadashi, on Nirjala Ekadasi, the story goes like this. Bhima, who knows who Bhima is? Yes? Very foodie person. I like the word foodie. Yes, he loves food. He had a very ferocious appetite. It says that the fire of digestion resided in his belly. He was also known as Brigodara. That's another name for Bhima. Anybody knows what that means? Brigodara. Yes.
Studied some Sanskrit. Durga is wolf.
Wolf, yes.
Wolf-bellied.
Wolf-bellied. That's exactly right. So I heard this from my Guru Maharaj. He said what it means is that a wolf's belly is never satisfied. It's always hungry. So whatever food they collected for the day, when they were in exile, so half the food used to go to Bhima, and the rest of the half, the other 4 brothers and Kunti Devi used to have, and Draupadi. So half the food Bhima used to eat. So Bhima was a very ferocious eater. And so the fire of digestion, the Agni in his stomach was so powerful that he could not fast. And he struggled. So then he went and asked his grandfather being Vyasadeva. And he said, Vyasadeva, you gotta help me, situation is bad. I can't fast like this, so give me an alternative. Give me something. Because we are Vaishnavas, my brothers not fast very stringently. So I have to, can't fall short, but I can't fast at the same time. So then Vyasadeva said, okay, this is what you can do. Once a year, on Nirjala Ekadasi, we are very fortunate in the southern hemisphere. Anybody knows why? Fortunate in one way. Because winter falls this time. So in India, all of you come from India, most of you all do come from India. How is it this part of the year? It is blisteringly hot. It is absolutely hot. It is. So imagine falling Nirjal in that condition. It's absolutely hot. So the austerity is like 10 times multiplied what we're going to have. Because you can stay without food for a day, no problem. You stay without water is hard. But to stay without water on hot days like that, it's an austerity. So we're lucky, we in a southern hemisphere, it's cooler here, so we get the same benefit anyway. In the age of Kali is known as the age of cheating. So even in spiritual life, there's some leeway we can have. So we're fortunate in that way. So we can fast for Ekadashi and get the same benefit in the southern hemisphere as the northern hemisphere without performing the same austerity. Krishna doesn't see what you didn't give and all. Krishna is just magnanimous. He gives. He said, this is what I'm going to give you. You wouldn't say a small print over here, this is a small print over here, like when you go over there, and he says, only for northern hemisphere. No. So Krishna gives, he gives like that. So what happened is Bhima, so Bhima said, listen, Vyasadeva told Bhima, okay, then if you fast on one Ekadashi, you follow properly, you get the benefits of all the other 25 Ekadashis. So that is why this is powerful. So even if you fast on this Ekadasi year, and if the other Ekadasis there was some lacking, you get that benefit and you get the benefit double the time again. So it's awesome time for fasting. You get a lot of benefits. So I should go a little faster, got a lot to cover. So basically, so that's the thing about Nirjala Ekadasi compared to normal Ekadasi. So we'll come back to Ekadashis. So what happened is one day, Lord Vishnu went to the abode of Yamuraj. So Yamuraj, why did he go there? He went there because Yamuraj is a Mahajan. So Yamuraj was desiring the mercy of the Lord, so the Lord went to visit him. And when the Lord went to visit Yamuraj, and Yamuraj received him very nicely, washed his feet, offered art to him, service to him, served him nicely, and offered him something. Then at that time, Lord Vishnu heard terrible screams and screeches, like painful screams. Terrible, people are struggling. And then Lord Vishnu asked, Yamuraj, what is that? So Yamuraj explained, these are the people full of power, full of sin. They've come here, to balance off their equation, to get back reciprocation of what they've done for so many things. So, so we're just giving them what they deserve. This is their punishment. This is their prison house, and so they're getting what they deserve. They've earned this merit. So then, but the heart of Vishnu is very soft. And he felt a lot of compassion in his heart. And he felt a lot of sadness that, that his children are suffering like this. So what he did was, then from that compassion, from that mercy, manifested a very beautiful lady. Very beautiful lady manifested. And then she prayed to the Lord and said, Lord, I want one benediction. So the Lord asked her, okay, what do you want? She says, whoever observe fast or vrat on this day, she was also born on the 11th day. So whoever offers vrat on this day, please purify them and absolve them of all their sin, all their pap. And our pap, it said, is bigger than the Meru mountain. Anybody knows the size of the Meru mountain? Okay, just to give you all an example, right? The Meru mountain is a celestial mountain. And compared to the Himalaya mountain, compared to Meru mountain, looks like a sesame seed in front of it. It's tiny, absolutely tiny. This is the Himalayan mountains that we have over here. It's just a small fraction compared to the Meru mountain. And the Meru mountain, he said, compared to our sun, our pap, it looks like a sesame seed. So that's how much of pap and sin we have accumulated over, lifetimes, after billions of lifetimes. And we still continue to sin. So then, but Krishna said, no problem, to cross this ocean of misery is very difficult. But one who surrenders to the Lord, in Bhagavatam it says, it's like crossing over the white calf, not cow. Because calf is even smaller. That's easy as when you go into the field and you see a little footprint of water in it, how hard is it to overcome it? But somebody who surrenders to Vishnu, this ocean of misery, which has no banks, no sides, is just humongous, becomes like that footprint to overcome. No problem. And he said that even one better than that. He who follows Ekadasi, not only do I take away the sins, but I give them residence in my abode. The coin or diamond. Even is insignificant to that. Because what is the use when you are hungry to have the coin or diamond? Nothing, so no value. But the mercy of the Lord is priceless. No, there's no value in this world, next world, and in the other world that can compare to the mercy of the Lord. So Vishnu gave this benediction. So what happened is spread like wildfire. Everyone in the universe started following Ekadasi like this. And everyone's pap was gone. So when Krishna created, or when the universe was created, along with the universe, this personification of Papa Purusha was created. Right? And this Purusha's body, this Papa's body is made out of most terrible sins that you can. Like for instance, one limb of his body is caused by abortions. The other one is by adultery. Another one is by killing of brahmanas. That's what his body is made out of, that kind of sin. Because everyone was following for Ekadasi, everyone's sins were getting cleared. So what happened is, Pap became emancipated, or thin, scrawny, undernourished. So he went to pray to Lord Vishnu and said, my dear Lord, you know what happened? Since you created this over here, now I'm dwindling. So you created everyone. You created me too. Now it's your duty to take care of me too. So you tell me where I can take residence. So Vishnu benedicted him. Alright, no problem. If everyone's performing austerity and getting rid of the pap on Ekadasi, then you take residence in grain on Ekadasi. You take residence in grain on Ekadasi. So whoever takes grain will take pap, even if you did not commit that sin. Whoever eats grain on Ekadasi takes the pap, the sin of creating that pap, that sin, even if you did not do it. So to eat grain on Ekadasi, you're taking sins of somebody else's. So that is why even on Dashami, it's recommended that we don't eat too late at night, because what happens in the morning when you get up, according to it's also called Madhava Titi. Madhava Titi is a auspicious time. So according to Gaudiya Vaishnavas, our TT starts at sunrise, not even Brahma Murta hour. It starts at sunrise. So we start fasting from sunrise. So even though you had the night before and you got the grain in your stomach, and if your grain is not digested by the morning, then papis take residence in that grain. So it's recommended don't eat too late on Dashami, and you got to go well into Dwaradashi. So it's more than a 24-hour fast. And even they tells you how to fast, and what time to break fast. So it's a science. So what happens is that, so pap takes residence over there. And those who partake in grain on Ekadashi, they take pap of everybody's. So it's not recommended that we do that. So what happened is then, Papa Purusha was taken care of, because now everyone is eating, those eating grain, they're taking all the sins. Purusha is well taken care of. Now, that is Vishnu aspect. Now, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we got even higher understanding of it. Now, this story I didn't even know until just recently. I heard my Guru Maharaj's lecture, and that's how I found out about it. So this goes back to Lord Ramachandra's pastimes. Alright, so what happened is, Lord Ramachandra, what he did was, when he sent Sita into exile, you know, at the end, when somebody criticized him and then he told Sita to go, Lakshmana to leave Sita away. You'll know, right? Everyone knows that story. So he left, Sita went away. Yes? Yeah. So when Sita went away, so what happened is that Lord Ramachandra still had to do all the yagyas. So all the yagyas had to be done by Lord Ramachandra, but when he went and asked his Guru, Vashishta Muni, how to do it, Vashishta Muni said, you're Grihastha, you got a wife. You cannot sit alone on the yagya. So you either do one thing, either get remarried, or you bring back Sita Devi to sit on the yagyas. So what happened is, he said, I can't do neither, because I am following Maryada Purusha, only one wife. But I can't bring back my wife as well, because my duty as a king is I have to fulfill my duty first, primarily to my citizens. So he couldn't do either of it. So he said, okay, give me an alternate option. So then in the Garga Samhita, Vashishta Muni, this is from the Garga Samhita. So Vashishta Muni says, okay, then what you do is you create a golden deity of your wife. And let us sit over there, and then that's considered as completing all the requirements for the yagya. So, but remember, Lord Ramachandra was king for a long time, 40,000 years, am I right? And so he had a lot of yagyas, and each yagya he created one what was called as Sita yagyas, right? So at the end of it, these Sita yagyas came to Lord Ramachandra and said, you know what? You made us your wife, but you don't share a relationship with us. We want to have some relationship with you. And so Lord Ramachandra said, in this lifetime, only one Sita, only one person. But next life when I come, you come, and then I'll have a relationship with you, and I'll accept your love. In South India, right? In a place called Ushi Nara. So what happened in Ushi Nara, there was 10 years of drought. So all the wealthy Gopas, they took their families and they took the cows and they moved to Vrindavan. And they settled there. With their king was Nanda Maharaj. So when they settled down there, then what happens was, all the children born of them were these Gopi Yagyas. The Sita Yagyas. So then they all were born as Gopis. So one day they came to saw Radharani, and they noticed that Radharani is full control of Krishna. Now Krishna is serving and doing so many things for her. So they all approached Radharani and said, listen, because they all were attracted to Krishna naturally, how can we have the same relationship, same seva to the Lord? So then Radharani, comes from Radharani. So a very, very special part. Since she started telling about, they told her, Krishna is under your full control. So only by your mercy, you tell us what to do. And then she suggested that in Ekadashi, you should be fasting like this. Gopi said, "O Radha, O beautiful lotus-eyed daughter of King Vrishabhanu, please tell us what vow we may follow to attain Lord Krishna's favor. O Radha, you have made Lord Krishna, whom even the great demigods cannot approach, into your submissive servant. You are the topmost beautiful girl in all the world. have crossed to the further shore of the deep meaning of the scriptures. So they approached Radharani and said, please tell us how we can also serve Krishna. And then Radharani said, to attain Lord Krishna's mercy, you should follow the vow of fasting on Ekadashi. In that way, you will make Lord Krishna into your submissive servant. Right? And then it says, during the dark fortnight of the month of Margashesha, the November-December, in order to kill the demon Mura, the day of Ekadashi was born from the body of Lord Vishnu. Now I'll come to that story very quickly, time permitting. So what happened is, at one stage, this Mura demon was so powerful that he conquered the Brahma, the Varuna, Vayu, everyone was under his control. And he kicked them on. So he was in control of the sunrise, sunsets, the wind. This Mura demon was so much in control. So these demigods went and prayed to Lord Shiva. They said, Lord Shiva, please, you got to help us out. Then what happened is, Lord Shiva said, hey, even I can't help you out, but you have to go ask Lord Vishnu. So they went and asked Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu said, hey, Vishnu, you know what, this is the problem. This person has come taking control. And Vishnu got upset. Now, when somebody is always angry and they get upset, nobody takes them seriously. But Krishna is always sweet, he's mellow. Even his smile is always, very, very sweet smile he's got. So when he got angry, you must understand, anger is anger, He got very angry, he said, right, come with me. So he got up and he went to this Mura demon. So he went to this Mura demon. As he got to this Mura demon, there was a big battle ensued. So the Mura demon had his army, Krishna, Vishnu and the demigods had their army, and they fought for a long time. But eventually, the demigods were, they lost the battle and they ran in fear of their life. So only Krishna was fighting alone. Then Krishna annihilated the whole army, and then just the Mura demon and Krishna was fighting. And they were fighting ferociously. And what happened was, they fought for, I think they said, for 1,000 celestial years. For a long time, 1,000 celestial years, it said in the Garga Samhita. And first they fought with weapons and finished the weapons, then they started fighting by hand. And they fought for a long time. I'm trying to rush through it, time permitting. And at one stage, Lord Vishnu got very, very tired. So when Lord Vishnu got tired, he went away, he went to the Badrikashram and into a cave, 97 yagnas huge. And he went and took rest called Emavati. Emma means snow. Right? Emma means snow. So this cave called Emavati. When he went and took residence, sleep over there, this Mura demon came in and he said, oh, now my enemy is sleeping, I can take advantage of the situation, I can kill him, finish him off. And as he was thinking like that, a personality manifested from his body. And then a battle ensued between Mura demon and this personality. And they fought for a short time. And then the personality got rid of his weapons. Now he wants to fight barehanded. And as he came closer, this personality just severed his head. Killed him immediately. So then Lord Vishnu woke up and said, hey, who are you and what happened? So this personality, narrated the story how this demon wanted to kill Lord Vishnu, and he came from the body and he killed him off. And so he says, but I was fighting for, 1,000 celestial years, and you killed him so fast. He says, yes, because I am a manifestation of your mercy, your glory, your mercy, and your soft-heartedness. So I can give liberation faster than you. So now Radharani is narrating this story to the gopis. So what happened is that the gopis came. So they're saying like, okay, the gopis said, okay, fine, like that. And then Lord Vishnu asked this person, okay, listen, you took birth on the 11th day. So this day, because you took birth, will be very auspicious day. I will give it my mercy. So it's called the day of Hari Vasara, right? Whoever fasts on this day sits very close to Hari on that day. Or even better, Lord Hari sits close to you. Upavasa. So that's the auspiciousness of this day. So now that little golden studded jewel box doesn't look so attractive, does it? Compared to the real jewel that you can get on fasting. So therefore, Ekadashis, we don't worry about the health benefits. If you focus on health benefits, you get the health benefit. You won't get Krishna. Devotees focus on this day, on chanting, hearing, smaranam, kirtanam. Ekadashi is also mother of devotion, just like Tulsi Maharani. So whoever observes Ekadashi, Bhakti Devi is very, very merciful to them and gives them so many different things. So on Ekadashi, we don't fast, we feast. We feast on the holy name. We feast on chanting. We feast on serving the Lord. We feast on being close to the Lord. Right? So in that time, you got no time for eating, sleeping, So therefore, we cut down on our eating. We cut down on our sleeping. So those who don't sleep, we take a full advantage of this day. So much is just flowing. Like for instance, if you go to the treasury and they tell you for 24 hours the treasury is open, take as much as you want. As much gold as you want. On that day, will you worry about sleeping too much? You got a truck waiting out there, you just not worry about eating, sleeping, you're just taking. So Ekadashi is that day. It's giving you unlimited amount of mercy. Unlimited. Just the smallest amount of thing, just the smallest amount of mercy will get you out of this material world, the ocean of suffering, Kunta, and take you to Vaikunta. Just Ekadashi, the one Ekadashi. So can you imagine when this Nirjala Ekadasi is coming, you're getting the same benefit for 26 Ekadashis. How powerful is this coming day? How powerful is this? We spend more time on Ekadashi in the kitchen, not we, my wife does, than on most days because the children don't like. But the point is on Ekadashi, we need to spend more time in our chanting, in our sadhana bhakti, and don't worry about the body. And then when we don't worry about the body, we neglect the body a little bit, then the main sense of the 11 senses, the main sense is the mind. We try to engage that in the service of the Lord. It's not that you fast and you focus your consciousness on the food, then you miss the point. Better not fast. If you think your whole day, I can't eat, I'm eating food, nice, a paneer sabji I had last night, I wish I had the juice that I had there. Why didn't I have more yesterday, I could have had it. If your consciousness, see, Krishna consciousness, you get what you are thinking, what you're conscious about. If you're conscious about food, you get no benefit except the health benefit. If you're conscious about Krishna, you will get Krishna. Conscious about Bhakti Devi, you will get Bhakti. So don't focus on the food aspect. Don't focus on the drinking aspect. Because if you have something more exciting to do, you won't focus on those things. Because we don't know the full value, what we're getting on Ekadashi, then we our senses are like that, our mind is like that, we focus on the less significant things. In things we can touch and hold. And things that we can touch and hold will die with this body. There's sin, right? And there's punya. Even it's these different sides of the same coin. Happiness and distress. Sukhe dukhe. Right? Happiness and distress is the same size. What is the value? You're happy for a few minutes. On some of the Ekadashis, you can not take birth in the planet of Indra, you can become an Indra. In some of the Ekadashis, you can have a son, a very, very highly elevated son. And why do we want a son? Because the son is known as Putra. Our son has the opportunity to relieve us when we die from the hellish conditions. But what is the use of fasting Ekadashi for any of those intrinsic values? It's going for the box. And when we die, we'll be taken away with the box. What is the use? So we focus on the real value, the bhakti, the shakti aspect of Ekadashi. And we go back to Godhead in this lifetime. Just apart from so many other things, but taking advantage of these very special days that Krishna on our path of bhakti has laid. So fastings on these Ekadashis, on Janmashtami, these are the days that are empowered with bhakti. They give you, it's like, if I may put it in a gross way for the children to understand, when you're playing these Donkey Kong games and stuff like that, as you go, there'll be a little something, you go ding, 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 you get more points. So these are things that extra points merits that we can get. So when we do material aspects, or we ask for material punya, or we do material good and bad, it is recorded by Yamuraj, Chitraketu, right? All material aspect, everything that we do is recorded by Chitraketu. Is that amazing? No, because everything that you do on the internet is recorded by Google. So why can't Chitraketu also make a note of everything that you do? Right? So, but whatever you do spiritually is recorded by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever you do on the spiritual aspect is eternal, because Krishna is eternal. But whatever Chitraketu writes down is not eternal. It can be waved out. Krishna can give it a quick kick anytime. And fasting from Ekadashi, you can do that immediately. That's the benefit of fasting for Ekadashis. So I suggest everyone very nicely take advantage of these beautiful days that are given to us. Take full advantage, become nice, and in breaking our fast the next day as well, we take a breakfast on the proper timing. Take a grain, which is normally Jagannath Mahaprasadam, and we pray to the Lord first. That because of my weak nature, I may not have followed very nicely. I might have caused some offenses, but my dear Lord, please give me your mercy. Na danam, na janam, na shundram. We don't worry about all those things. Mantranam, Kriyanam, Bhaktinam, Janana, Yat Punjira Mayadeva, Patipunam, Tarashtame. We pray to the Lord. Although I've performed without proper mantras, without proper performances, oh dear Janardhan, whatever, even though I may cause offenses, please let it become complete. We pray to the Lord and then we break fast. But it's said that you have something very light when you break fast, because it gets the body juices going, and so then later on you eat heavy. So slowly like that. So we got 4 minutes for questions. Anybody has any questions? Yes, please.
Is it sinful to break fast at the wrong time?
I don't think it's sinful, but you don't get the benefits. Because everything works according to TT, and if you do everything at the right time, it's like this. The way I'll put it for you is that, say for instance, you go and you do work, and you go to work, and you go and get your salary, but if you go late, the office is closed, you're going to get the benefit. So it is, if you break fast at the wrong time, you don't get the benefit of fasting. The important thing about fasting is the breaking fast of Ekadashi. The story of Amrish Maharaj.
What if we accidentally broke the fast without knowing?
Okay, so good. So what happened is Bhima asked the same question, remember? So Bhima said, see, what if we break the fast, we didn't follow nicely, or things like for the whole year? That's why Vyasadeva made the provision on this one Ekadashi, be very careful. Right? But Krishna doesn't notice. He's not grudging. Krishna is very, if you tried your best, Krishna sees your endeavor. Krishna will see your endeavor. Krishna knows your heart. Krishna in your heart will see. And he reciprocate. And then next time you won't make that. We all make mistakes now and then. That's what we are humans. We in the age of Kali, we are full of mistakes. So Krishna will overlook if you do this sincerely. But don't break and say, I've made a mistake and out of purpose. Yes. Anybody else? Any other questions? Nice questions from the kids. How about anybody else? We got another 2 minutes. So anyway, so Radharani mentions a whole lot of benefits that one get from fasting on Ekadashi. But one of the biggest benefit is that he told the gopis that Krishna becomes your servant. Right? It's like this. Krishna feels so indebted to the person. There's a constant battle. There's a constant battle of who can serve more. Whether the devotees can serve Krishna more or Krishna can serve the devotees more. Like Krishna becomes sold out to the person who surrenders to him. So it's a constant battle. And the devotee doesn't want that either. So we're not going to Krishna and say, I want this benefit, I want that benefit, I want to dance with you. All the devotee wants is to see a smile on Krishna's face. All the devotee wants is to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When we fast on Ekadashis, when we chant Hare Krishna, when we go in front of the Lord, when we do Arti, all we want in return, we want is a smile on the Lord's face. That's all we want. And if the Lord's smiling, what else do we want? The good example is when Krishna had a headache, remember? Right? So we don't go and follow Vedic Bhakti so stringently that we lose the Bhakti aspect of it. So we should become very nice devotees. I strongly suggest, please take advantage of Nirjala Ekadasi within your capacity and within your health requirements. So if you can follow Nirjala Ekadasi, don't let the mind dictate. Maybe the body you can understand if you are having some illness, but don't let the mind dictate. And when you're focusing on that day, focus not on food. Focus on pleasing Krishna. Focus on pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's the ultimate reason we fast from Ekadashi. That is why we Vaishnavas, we fast. We don't fast for any of the other million other benefits out there. Not for the box at all. Not even for the coin or diamond. All we want is to see the smile on the Lord's face. So we are not fasting. We are feasting on that day. We are feasting on the smile of the Lord's face. We're feasting on serving the Lord, hearing the Lord's holy name, serving the Lord very nicely, and remembering Smarana. So, wish you all very best for Nirjala Ekadasi. I hope I shed some light on the subject. Please, if I said anything wrong, please forgive my offenses. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to great Vaishnavas, and all glories to Ekadashi. Jai Srila Hare Krishna.